Hey, Ronnie Dale, Four Wheeling Australia. Welcome to Arizona, USA. Here we have a 4Runner. And here we have Kevin on the wrong side of the car. What's going on, mate?
Just having a blast. Awesome.
Kevin, Lifestyle Overland.
There you go.
YouTube channel as well. Check that out. There's a link down below and at the end of this video. So we're going to do a modified, the 4Runner.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of happy people. People going to ask for a 4Runner. We don't have them in Australia. We're going to shoot this modified over the course of this trip that we're doing.
Yeah.
So you're going to see us maybe wearing different clothes in different locations. But I think we get straight into it here.
Okay.
Do you want to tell us what it's set up for?
So we've been living out of this with the trailer for about a year now. We traveled for 7 months solid all the way up to Alaska and the Arctic Ocean and then back again. So yeah, we've been slowly refining how it's all set up and just trying to be as efficient as we possibly can, as lightweight as we can, but still have most of the comforts of home.
So it's pretty epic. What size motor have we got in this?
This is the 4.0 V6 gasoline or petrol, as you guys would say. Yeah.
I've got a petrol word out of it. Is it the same motor that's in the FJ?
Yes, it is actually, and it's also in some of the Tacomas, I believe. Yeah.
Only autos?
Only automatic on the 4Runner. Yep.
Is it a 4 speed?
It's 5-speed.
5 speed.
Yep.
But in low range it's only 4, correct?
That is correct.
I noticed that, yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I think we waste no time. We're going to get straight into this 4Runner. Bar work as usual. So what do you call this? A bumper? Steel bumper?
Yeah, this is just what they call the slimline bumper. It's by Southern Style Off-Road. They were one of the first ones to come out with this concept, and we really liked it because it's lightweight. It still allows us to mount a winch. I have a Smitty built 10,000 pound winch here with a synthetic line and just a generic bar, LED bar here, and then we've got the Light Force lights up top.
So it comes with the cutout?
Yes, you can get it built different ways, but we opted to go with the bar. Give a nice little floodlight on the road right in front of you.
So can you actually specify how big you want the holes?
Yes. Yeah, you can get them to build
cool.
it however you like.
Yeah. And you can recover off this bar?
Absolutely. Yeah, we pulled a 1-ton Dodge Ram with a camper out of the tundra up in Northwest Territories with it. So it's been tested.
Yeah, so he hooked onto you with a winch?
Yeah, we had a triple line set up off of this. yeah, it's been tested to the nines.
Cool. Factory bash plate, well used as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, those have seen better days. We're looking to upgrade those eventually.
That's very well used.
We'll just take a sledgehammer to them every now and then.
This bumper stops here. Is there anything behind this?
No, this is just the factory right here. Yeah.
So that's to protect the engine vitals, radiator and stuff.
Right.
And then the sides, you still get you home.
Right, absolutely.
Unless you hit an elk.
Exactly, yeah.
We saw a few of it last night, didn't we?
That's right.
Let's move to the sides.
That's it.
Sidebars. This one's a kick out. And on an angle.
Yeah.
And used.
A few times.
Yeah. I helped you close your tent, so that actually came in handy there.
Oh yeah.
So is that part of the reason?
Exactly. So if you're going to run a rooftop tent, you definitely want to have these sliders so you can walk back and forth, because it's almost impossible. You have to crawl on top of the tent if you want to work in the center of it here.
Yeah, I reckon if you didn't have at least a step with a rooftop.
Right. Or opening doors, you could stand on the thresholds, but that gets old.
Who made these?
This is by Bud Built. They have 2 grades. They have a super heavy duty version of this, and we opted to go with the lighter version. We've actually had a ton of weight on the opposite side on Crown King here in Arizona, and it moved it up a little bit, so we had to put a tractor on it and push it back down. So hindsight, I'd probably go with the heavy ones, but no, they've been great. They've been just what we needed.
Rear bar, I've been tapping it a bit, and you can tell they've put the weight or the thickness where they need it, and then kept the weight down up high. Looks pretty cool too, like it fits the car nice.
Yeah, it's one of the only bumpers at the time that allowed you to pull the whole rear off without having to cut plastic. So a lot of people didn't want to do that in case they ever wanted to put the factory bumper back on and sell the vehicle. So that was a really cool design. Actually opted for the raised receiver as well. So the factory bumper has been cut and so that this peaks could actually fit up inside of the cutout. So we've gained quite a bit of clearance here.
2 recovery points on the sides, and you got your your toe assembly as well.
Correct.
2 arms, one with fuel.
Yeah, so this one has the mount for the rotopacks, and this will actually flip out, and there's steps here in the back. We don't use it often enough. We'd rather just put our trash bag on here as well. We've got like our toiletries, like our pop-up toilet, and then I think there's actually a bottom for our high lift jack that goes in here. So, and then we'll like stuff our trash on top of it and take it to the dumpster as we go out.
How many liters is this thing?
That's 4 gallons.
4 gallons.
4 gallons. I'll let you do the conversion.
Yeah, it'll be on the screen. I had a big night. we had a big night. Rightio. I know this one very well.
Yeah.
The Dead Man off the road.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool bit of gear. You said this doubles as a ladder.
Right.
Can this also hold like your conventional jerry cans?
Yeah, so you could buy it to outfit with either style of fuel cans.
Okay. Spare wheel and the high lift jack behind it. So what do you call these? High lift jacks here, or do you call them kangaroo jacks?
High lift jacks, yeah. My granddad actually called them railroad jacks.
Railroad jacks?
Yeah, just pivot this sideways here. There you go.
Because I have heard Americans call them kangaroo jacks.
Really?
Which has surprised me.
Ah.
Rightio.
All right.
So you can get to this pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go to the top.
Okay.
That thing on the roof rack. Tell us the material, the weight if you know it, and the brand of the actual rack itself.
Of the rack itself. So this is the Gobi rack. This is their stealth version. We've been running this for about 4 years now. And I think it weighs in, if I recall correctly, around the 100-pound mark. But again, I'm coming from, this has been a while.
So about 50 kilo?
Yeah, something like that. And but yeah, you can also have this outfitted different ways. They make a taller rack that's called the Ranger rack. So if you had a lot more gear and boxes and things that you wanted higher coverage on the sides for, you can do that as well.
Did I do have some mounts and stuff for it as well, or you just got to do that yourself?
This is actually mounts to the factory connection points for the original rails that were here. That was the advantage to this one, is there was no drilling involved.
Yep.
These are actually floating here on pads. So you have solid mount in the back.
All right.
Yeah.
I was talking more about the things that you put on it. Does it come with heaps of different mounting brackets?
You can get things like high lift mounts. You can get
so they make a
shovel
lot too.
mounts. Yeah, there's a lot of options for them as well. Yeah.
And you got the Dacia Eclipse. I got to ask, has it been out here for long?
The Dacia's been out for about 1.5 years now, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that an American company? Or is it Australian?
I believe it originated in Australia, but they're also here in the States.
Because I've only just noticed those a couple of months ago.
Really?
Because they fold out front and back, right?
Right, so this is the 180, so it'll swing out with an arm this direction and
Yep.
another arm that direction. On the trailer we have the 270, so it's a lot
Goes
of
right
real
around.
estate. Yeah, it's huge.
Okay. Your rooftop 23.0.
Right.
How big is that?
So this is the California king size bed. Comes with a 3-inch high density foam mattress. We've been living out of a 23.0 tent on the trailer for, I guess, like 180 something nights in it. Yeah.
So how come you got one on the trailer and one on the 4Runner?
That's a bit of a long story that we're going to reveal in season 2 of our series. So, but yeah, we were in the process of outfitting this to do some solo runs without the trailer.
Okay.
And yeah, more coming later.
Yep. It's complicated. Lights and comms. It looks like you've got what you need.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't gone over the top like a lot of Aussies do. I'm sure a lot of Americans do as well, because I've seen some of their cars.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But you definitely use your lights as well. You do a lot of traveling. So run us through the lights that you've got now. Start from the front.
So we got just a generic 22-inch bar that came with the bumper itself.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Light Force LED strikers, and these they're incredibly bright. I'm really excited about playing with these a little bit more. And I'm in the process of upgrading the ones up on the top. So I try and focus on buying the best and crying once on everything. And lighting was one thing that I scrimped on.
Okay.
and I'm paying for it now. So I'm gonna have to rework all this. These are those cheap $20 Amazon lights, and the output has gone down drastically. The lenses are all tarnished now, and they're full of moisture. So lesson learned. I should have just bought the best and done it one time.
Fair enough.
So in the back, we're running the Light Force Rock 40s. We just replaced the cheap ones we had back there as well, and the output's like 4 times what it was.
Okay, so you had
previously.
Amazon in the back as well.
Yeah, that's what we had. They were okay for a bit, but now we can really light up camp to our satisfaction. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Communication-wise?
So communications, we're running a ham radio. We have a Larson dual frequency antenna on the back, and then we also have a CB that we keep on hand. A lot of people in the States still run CB quite frequently. It's good for close communications on a trail.
Okay, so just explain. So you got a dual Larson.
Right.
What frequency does that run on?
So it's going to be the 2 meter and 70 centimeter frequencies is what that picks up. And
Okay.
so inside I'm running, and we can get into this more, but I'm running the Yaesu FTM 400, so I can run on either frequency.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And I noticed you guys get better range than what we do in Australia with our, I think we're running on 400 and something megahertz. It's quite short range. I think our best line of sight's like 15, 20K if someone's on a hill and someone else is on a flat.
Right.
But I noticed you guys, you were getting pretty good range.
Right. Yeah, we get
Even through all this forest here.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive what we can do out here. There are definitely times where you get behind a hill or down in a valley and it's hard to get back out. But there's quite a few repeaters here in the States. So if you have the Repeater Book app, you can just pull that thing up, punch in whatever repeater is nearby, and then reach out again.
Nice.
Yeah.
So here we are, in the woods, somewhere else. No, we just quickly got changed. No, we're somewhere else. Tyres and lift. Just over the hill over there is Overland Expo West, which we're going to go to a bit later on. That'll be in a different video. But let's get stuck into your tyres and lift. We'll start with the suspension.
Okay. So up front, we're running the Icon suspension. We've got the 2.0 shocks and the upper control arms. We just recently upgraded the uniballs to the Delta joint, so it's actually a greasable pivot point as opposed to before when there was no way to lubricate it. So big upgrade, a lot less squeaking on the trail.
Okay.
Cool. And then back in the back, we have Icon remote reservoir 2.5s with an adjuster valve as well, so we can change our load out based on
How many
whatever.
adjustments do you have?
I believe it is 9, if I remember correctly.
9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you adjust rebound and ride comfort, or?
It's basically just for
Firm
ride
it up,
comfort.
soften
Yeah,
it.
it's firm to soft is what it's set up for.
All right. Do you
Yeah.
play around with it much?
I found that with as much weight as we typically carry with the trailer on the bumper as well, that we just run it at 9. If I was going to do just a weekend trip, run really light without the trailer, then I'd probably take it down to about a 5. Helps it float a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you only worry about the rear, you don't worry about the front?
No, the front isn't adjustable. We've got over 100,000 miles on those, so there'll be an upgrade coming to that in the
fair
near
enough.
future.
Yeah.
So on the rear, we also have the Old Man Emu 2899 springs. It's the heaviest ones that we could find for the Toyota. They're rated for like 800 plus, and so that was really where we finally stopped seeing so much sag in the rear end.
Because you're towing.
Exactly. Overall height, we've probably gained about 3.5, 4 inches in the rear, and 2 3/4, 3 inches in the front.
Have you done a diff drop, or the CV angles are fine?
No, they're still the same. They're still in the factory position.
The Black Donuts, what do we got, mate?
So we're running the BFG KO2s. These are in the 285 7017, and I'm running load range E on the vehicle. Also run the same wheel and tire setup on the trailer as well, so that we can swap out the
Sub
tires.
pattern, everything.
Everything. Other than the fact that the trailer is actually load range C, just because I wanted to reduce my rolling mass.
Okay.
But these are all wrapped around the Stealth Custom Series, Stealth 6 wheels, and these guys have taken a beating and they just keep on going.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Have you had these tyres before?
This is my 4th set of the KO series.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you started the KO1s and...
Started with the KOs, was the first set, and then 3 sets of KO2s after that on the 4Runner.
You obviously rate them highly?
Oh, I can't rate these high enough. I mean, I've never had a single flat.
Okay.
And I've abused them fairly well, so yeah.
How many miles do you roughly get out of them?
Well, see, that's the thing is because of the abuse that I put them through, the airing up and the airing down, and sometimes the sidewall gashes that start to accumulate, I usually try and change out the tire at about 75% of its life. So if it's a 50,000 mile tire, I'll usually change it out around 35,000 miles, just for the peace of mind and knowing that
Still pretty good.
what my vehicle is riding on. And people have bought those tires from me and gone to put them on their vehicles and drive for thousands and thousands of miles after that.
Yeah, nice. Okay. But they're not probably relying on it like you are.
No, exactly.
All those long trips and.
Right.
Nice. PSI questions.
So in sand, I'll go down as far as 12 or 14 PSI, just depending on how heavy I am and what kind of sand we're riding through at the time.
Okay, and what about, what do you use on the highway?
Anywhere between 40 and 50 pounds, just depends on how rough the road is. And then the front will be between 35 and 42.
It's just a fair difference, but you're including the towing here, aren't you?
Exactly. We're much heavier in the rear than we are in the front.
Yeah. And what about something like rocky stuff?
Rocky stuff, we're probably sticking the 16 PSI in the front and about 18.5 to 20 in the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about yesterday on that volcanic stuff? That real weird stuff?
Yeah, so I just threw the Ston deflators on there, and so it was 18.5 all the way around.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seemed to work all right.
It did a really good job.
Yeah. Under the hood. Do you guys ever say bonnet?
We never say bonnet.
Never.
Not unless you're on the prairie wearing a bonnet.
Damn. Let's change the subject. Twin batteries.
Uh-huh.
Two of the same batteries there. Are these both cranking or?
These are both deep cycle AGM batteries by Odyssey. They're both the same size as far as capacity is concerned, but they're reversed in polarity because of where the lugs land on the factory side here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got two AGMs in here, and you're starting a car off them?
Yes.
Interesting. Cool. I like this battery clamp here.
Yeah, so that's the kit from Shockworks, and it came with the plate so that it mounts in the right-hand drive position. So that way it's using the structure that Toyota intended for a battery. Some of them like to put them up in the upper hand corner. Then you eventually start seeing fender cracks and things like that.
Get too hot as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So really cool kit. And then it relocated the air injection pump up into the upper corner.
Okay. Are these paralleled or are they separated?
They're separated by the Blue Sea ACR. I use that to control connection.
Oh, that's this one here.
Right, so if I'm going to run my air compressor or winch, I'll link the batteries together. Or if for some reason the start battery is dead, then I can link them as well and start off of it.
Yeah, so it's done properly.
Right.
I thought this was a car alarm. I've never seen one of these before.
Yeah.
I know these ones. So these have finally come to the US, eh?
Yes.
Red Eye BCDC 1225D, so this is a solar input as well.
Yes.
Do you have a solar input?
I haven't wired it up at this point. Right now I'm using a ZAMP portable unit that just clips to the batteries. That way I can use it on either the trailer or the 4Runner. Yeah.
Is solar power something you guys use much in the States?
Absolutely, especially here in the Southwest where we get a lot of sunshine. Before I had the tent on top of the 4Runner, I actually had some panels up there on the roof rack as well.
Okay. Any mods done to the engine?
The engine is completely stock. It is absolutely stock.
Apart from the snorkel?
Apart from
raised
the
air
snorkel
intake.
That's correct.
Okay. And you're happy with the power?
I'm happy with the power. I mean, that's a common complaint in the community on the 4Runners with the 4.0, but I feel like it does everything I need it to do, even towing the trailer.
Yeah, I noticed you guys had no issues climbing up all kinds of stuff, and I drove Thomas's 4Runner, and they're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And the wheelbase, I love the wheelbase on them.
It's a great combination, it really is.
Fuse box over there.
Yeah, so this is just auxiliary for lights and whatnot. So I have all the rear lights, I have the fridge, all that kind of stuff coming off of this block.
Fuel, how many gallons per miles? You have to convert. Oh man.
Pop it up on the screen again. So right now, when we are fully loaded out, living out of this and the trailer with 48 gallons of water in the trailer and we were actually carrying 22 gallons of extra fuel in Alaska, we got an average of 11.3 miles per gallon.
Is it impressive?
It's for how much that we're pulling, it is. There's a lot of guys out there who are running a similar setup, maybe with a heavier tire than what we were running, and they see 12 to 13 on a good day. So
Okay.
we feel like we're in a good range. Now we don't run fast. You know, we take our time, and that's really the most important factor. You get above 70, 75 miles an hour on these things, and it starts tapering off really quick.
That's a decent sized fridge.
This is the 67 liter Snowmaster Dual Zone.
Do you run fridge and freezer?
Typically just fridge and fridge because we're going through stuff fairly fast.
Yeah.
Once in a blue moon, if we want some ice cream or take some ice along, then we'll swap it out.
Yeah, okay. Can you pull it out?
Sure.
Nice. And you made this yourself, yeah?
Yeah, I've got a good friend with a CNC machine, and so we just whipped up a design and cut it all out and
Awesome.
put it all together. Yeah.
That makes these D shapes a lot easier, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you mind if I look?
Absolutely.
Fair bit of room.
And then you can pull this basket out. So,
Yeah, what's the go there?
so it gets double stacked.
Ah,
That way you're not crushing stuff or having to dig to the bottom of something.
okay. That's pretty smart. Nice. How long you had this for?
I've had this one for about 14 months, 15 months.
Okay. What is that?
That right there
Oh, first aid kit, yeah?
is in the red bag.
Yeah.
That is a defibrillator.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
They're not cheap, but the last job I was on, we had a health share program, and you had to use the money or lose it. And I didn't use any of it, so I decided that'd be a good piece of equipment to have on the trail.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That is, you're the first one.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people say the same thing, but again, it was one of those deals where it's like, that could be a life and death situation for some people.
Yeah, well,
way out in the bush.
the recovery rate with those units is pretty high.
Right.
So I've been told in first
Right.
aid. What is that?
That is a ZAMP solar controller. So before we had the rooftop tent on this unit, we had 100 watts of solar power, and that just received the power and distributed it back to the auxiliary system.
Okay. I can see you pulled two seats out. Is it two seats? Yeah, two seats. Or are they folded down, or you pull them out?
No, we actually pulled them out. We only have the one child, so we utilize that space to relocate all of our tools and recovery equipment and camera gear to a box that can be contained. So if we were in a rollover or something like that, it wouldn't be flopping about the cabin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that then. Are these your clothing bags? These are the bags you live out of? Or
Yes,
when you've been on the road for 7 months, that is what you've kept all your clothes in?
exactly. Yeah.
To get routine washing?
Right. And we're getting better and better. We're probably down to about a third of the clothing that we started with. We were using some big, massive Rubbermaid totes, and it was just eating up a lot of space. And we found that we weren't using most of it, so went through and picked out what we needed and what we liked and reduced down to just the bag. So now if we do stop somewhere, we can grab the bag and carry it into the room without carrying a bunch of bins and looking like we're moving in.
Now I'm going to take a look at the drawers. So just more storage, eh?
Uh-huh.
This would be pretty light too.
Yeah, this is all Baltic birch 1/2 inch. The idea was to keep it as lightweight as possible, and then this is a Inyati bed liner that's sprayed on it as well. So yeah, it's bulletproof.
So you got your essentials here.
Essentials, yes.
Is that the corn whiskey?
That's the corn whiskey, and then we also have the other essential as well. So,
Ah, yes.
yeah.
Yes. Is this distilled water?
Typically we try and grab spring water, but sometimes...
Oh, you got spring water in bottles like this.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. We try to steer away from the water bottles. This was kind of our compromise is, we keep steel cups and pour in as opposed to trying to use the bottles all the time.
What have you got stuffed in this pocket here?
Okay, so over here, I keep random long objects. So this is the spring rods for the tent. We also have the snow pole for the tent shoved up in here as well. This is the new Light Force LED setup. So I plug this in the rooftop tent, It's a dimmable light setup there.
Okay.
Shower pouches,
Yeah,
rags.
they are so cool. These are awesome.
Yeah, they're lifesavers when you really need a wipe down.
I did a whole body wash with this, and it actually felt like I had a shower.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. And then we also have just some more first aid stuff. So again, with all of that money I had to use or lose, actually this is the defibrillator. The other one
Is the first aid kit.
is more first aid based. So
I use a similar box.
Thermometer. This is actually for blood pressure. So if you're feeling weird and you want to see what's going on, you can do that. Trauma pack, and then this is a blood oxygen level sensor, so you can pop that on your finger and actually see. And we're at altitude now, so yours might be a little bit low now.
Let's try it.
And it'll pop up after it calibrates. Actually, you're pretty good.
Yeah.
Not
Acclimatized.
bad. Not bad. All right, no mouth to mouth for you.
Damn. That's the box, yeah. Oh, nice. So that's just on the edge, and you're still at the box.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So obviously, when you have gear stowed on top of the box, it's not easy access. So I have a few things that are just easy to grab here on the side. So I have gloves, air down tools, just the 2 camp stakes I need for the rooftop tent, air up hose, and inflator as well.
Very nice. And is this? Can you take this basket out, this one, or is that part of it?
This just pops up. So raise this up a bit, and then the whole wing flips up like that.
Ah.
So now I can get to my winch controller, alligator clips or crocodile clips for the solar panel.
And then we got the box.
I have the box here, and I haven't been in it in a couple days, so let's see what it looks like. All right. So,
that's where it is.
Yeah. So all the tools are organized in a different bag. So this is going to be like electrical bits here.
Very nice.
Wrenches. Of course, the duct tape is always part of it as well. I carry a few power tools just in case I need to do a bit more damage.
Gorilla tape, that's all the essential stuff.
Yeah, Gorilla tape, things like that.
Very nice. You got the weight in the right spot too. It's between the 2 wheels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the main goal, is to keep it central. So.
All right, so in cab, let's start with your roof actually. Okay. There is a lot going on this roof. I've got to say, it's pretty cool though. Lots
of memories, lots of connections.
Wow.
It's a great way of keeping track of people that you've met.
Good way to collaborate as well. There's a lot of patches there.
Yeah.
You got the similar radio to what Thomas is running. What's all the other guys are running?
Yeah, this is the Yaesu FTM 400 XDR, and it's dual band, like we were talking about before, with the 2 meter and 70 centimeter wavelengths.
Okay, so you need 2 antennas for it.
It's actually a dual band antenna.
So you use them both.
Both come off of a single antenna.
So that's why your distance and quality of radio is so much better.
It may be. Like I said, I'm not a big radio guy. I just put things in and make it work.
Just comparing to what we use in Australia, I mean, the quality that's coming through these radios is top notch.
Really?
Like, it's like as good as my commercial grade radio I got in my car.
Wow.
But yeah, this is pretty awesome. And even like the static, it's not annoying. Like when you get static on our UHF, it's pretty annoying.
Right.
So I'm pretty impressed with it. I didn't even know you guys were running this kind of stuff. I thought you were on the old 27 megahertz with the antenna in the middle of the roof kind of thing.
Right.
Nav system?
Yeah, so we're running the Apple iPad here with Gaia GPS as our primary navigation system. Been using that for about 5 years now, and it's really a powerful setup.
So Gaia is your main, is that like the biggest sort of GPS, biggest and best that you can get in your opinion? Or?
Absolutely, yeah. Especially for the United States. They're coming up with more map sources for other countries now, but really their focus has been the US as they've been growing. And there's over 250 maps and map layers that you can combine and download for offline use.
Okay. for Australian viewers, I had a look at the maps on here. They do have New South Wales maps, Queensland, Tasmania, but no Victoria, no South Australia, Western Australia, or Northern Territory. But that might come later.
Yeah.
What's this thing over here?
So that's the DeLorme inReach. They've recently been bought out by Garmin, so now it's the Garmin inReach, but this is an older unit. We've been using that for several years now. It works as a satellite texting device, so if I'm out by myself, I can, let the wife know where I'm at, everything's okay. It's also good while we were traveling to Alaska and back for family to track us, so you can actually set it up to where it drops a breadcrumb every 15 minutes.
So essentially it's similar to like a Spot.
It's very similar to a Spot. And in addition to those features, it also has the SOS button. So if you were to get in a life or death situation, you could activate that and bring in the authorities at that point.
Okay. Do you have that? Was it Thomas that had the other sort of GPS emergency locator beacon, or was that you?
I have one, yeah.
Okay.
And we talked a little bit about that. In Alaska and Canada, we wanted something that we knew people would respond to.
Mm-hmm.
There's some debate on the level of attention a emergency responder would put towards a third-party device as opposed to an internationally recognized ACR, personal locator beacon.
Okay. So therefore you know that they're going to come with the L1.
They're required by international law to respond to the PLB.
Fair enough. You got A-track in this one, and you have a rear locker.
Yes.
We spoke about that at the start.
And also a front locker now. So we have the ARB air locker in the front as well.
Okay. So what situation use the A-track over lockers?
Ever since I switched from the factory 373 gearing to 488s, I've gone to more of a manual methodology. We gained a lot of torque when we went to the lower gear ratio, and our capability actually skyrocketed. So I don't go into A-track very often. I'll actually engage the rear locker from time to time, but haven't really had the need to go to A-track and use the multi-terrain like I used to back when it was all stock setup.
Okay.
Well, we have a collection of RAM mounts for all the electronic displays we have going on.
It's a good collection going on here.
When you're living in this thing full time, you're in it 8-12 hours every single day. It's nice to have a place for everything, so your phone's not down here falling off the console or rattling in a cup holder. So I really tried to focus on making a place for everything. Even a simple mod like these little pockets that I've got screwed into the side of the console here are great for random stuff, and then occasionally when you drop that French fry, it doesn't go to the abyss. You can actually retrieve it and enjoy it.
Yeah. Apart from having all this stuff here, so if you're living in this car, you obviously use this iPad for other things, or might be an iPad, whatever it is.
Yes.
You'd use it for other than navigation, right?
Right. So it's actually connected to the inReach. So rather than trying to type one letter at a time on the screen on the inReach itself, it pulls up the app here and we can type
keyboard
and send text messages that way. There's also a handful of other apps that we use. We carry a OBD2 reader by Blue Driver that plugs in, and we can run system codes. So if we have some kind of error come up either in the computer or the dash lights, we can run that software and see what the issue is and kind of make a determination if it's a small issue or it's a big issue. This one would actually have the Android tablet running the Torque app, and that's got all the vehicle diagnostics. The main thing for us is watching our converter and transmission temperatures. And so that's what we run with that when we're traveling across country.
Something we missed when we were driving around, inverter?
Yeah, so there's a 1,000 watt Xantrex pure sine wave inverter underneath your seat right there.
Okay, and that's how you charge your laptops.
Exactly.
While you're editing, sitting in this chair.
Right.
Nice. Very efficient.
Trying to be a mobile workstation as much as possible. That's why, another reason why Sarah does a lot of the driving, so that I can work on editing and things in the passenger seat. Nice.
Well, you guys are a really organised crew. Organised family.
It looks good right now, but we do our best.
It's looked pretty organised the whole time. You should see my Land Cruiser when I'm out. There's just crap everywhere.
It happens.
Yeah. All right. No French fries down here that we're talking about?
I think we've caught them all.
Oh,
Yeah, I think we
damn, I'm
actually ate
hungry.
them. Yeah.
Let's get this mount here. This was cool.
Yeah, that's a really handy setup.
Nice. You got amperage draw, yeah. A lot of people don't have amperage draw, and that's actually a good one to have. You'll also realise that when you leave your stereo on and the louder you turn it up, the more amps you're sucking. Can you see that in that one?
Sure. Yeah, and
Awesome.
like I'll turn on some lights right now. You can watch it jump.
Yeah, there we go. 23. Nice. Q&A. Q&A time. What are you doing?
Cheers, mate.
Get out of it. So you have one for him anyway. I see what you're doing. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Mandarin wheat. That's not bad.
Made in Arizona.
That's not bad. I don't think I could drink too many of them, but
Yeah, it's really good in the summertime. It's nice and warm.
yeah.
Not like now.
First question, best thing about the 4Runner and the worst thing?
Best thing about the 4Runner would be the storage and the layout is perfect for a mid-sized family. It's just a very reliable, capable vehicle for the price and the footprint. It's the best setup for us.
Okay. Worst thing?
If I could have anything, I would want a bit more power. Everyone wants more power, but when you start loading these things down, they can get a little bit sluggish. So
Okay.
you want to put a re-gear high on your list at that point.
Have you had it to a higher altitude than what we are now?
Oh yeah, it's been up to 13,000, 14,000.
Okay. So you notice a lack of power then?
You know, that would be hard to judge because usually we're going pretty slow on a trail at that point.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But not a noticeable difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your top 3 favourite mods?
Top 3 favorite mods. I would say the RAM mounts are probably one of my favorites just because it puts all my gear in a handy position, you know, for navigation or monitoring the vehicle. Second favorite, I would say the suspension. I mean, it really does a great job for what we do.
The way you got it set up now?
The way it's set up now, yeah, it's really dialed in for our weight. Third favorite would probably, third favorite would definitely be the storage system. I mean, that was a game changer for us because we can make so much more gear and it's got its proper place.
That's such a good place where you got that box in the middle.
Absolutely.
In between the wheels and your wheelbase is not short, it's not long, it's a good size. And you got all the weight down low. Yeah, it's a good usable space.
It is.
A lot of people just leave their seats in and throw gear in.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. So, content creation, what got you started in Lifestyle Overland?
So really this kind of all started by accident in a way. We planned a big trip with my family to go from south central New Mexico to north central Colorado, and it was really kind of a fun project to figure out what trails were open and just develop this thing, and ended up naming it the Enchanted Rockies Trail. When we traveled it, I filmed it all, which I didn't typically do before, and decided I was going to make a video series for my daughter to watch in the future because, you know, she was 3.5, 4 years old and probably wasn't going to remember a lot of it.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, and so that was kind of my gift to her. Well, people loved it, and all of a sudden the next thing I know, the channel was blowing up, and so people wanted more and more content, and so I started creating more, and you know, kind of the rest is history. And then at one point, as a family, we decided, you know what, this thing's taking off. What could it be? And so we made the decision to sell everything and hit the road full time and just give it all that we have, and it's paid off. It really has. It's just exploded.
Yeah. That's a big risk, but a good payoff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. What's your favourite sort of type of video? Is it just all the travel? Is that what you prefer to do, or are you starting to look into doing like a DIY stuff? And
we really have a fairly good mix on the channel right now. But my favorite to do is the inspirational travel. We do a lot of music with some powerful lyrics alongside, you know, cinematography of these areas to really draw people in. You know, it's more than just watching rigs bounce down a dusty road. Like, you know, we focus on the wildlife and you know, just all the nature that's surrounding us, kind of thing. And when I finish one of those videos, it's very satisfying when you watch it and like you just feel like you were actually there.
Yeah, awesome. What's the next big thing you're planning for your channel?
Well, we have a lot of content.
A squirrel. A squirrel. Sorry. Alan. 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 That's Steve. I don't know if you've seen that. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Sorry. We don't have squirrels in Australia.
Oh, really?
Oh, actually, they do at Eastern States, I think. I don't actually know. Not in WA. I'm pretty sure I've seen a squirrel in Melbourne. I'm pretty sure I have. Torben shaking his head. All right, there's probably no squirrels in Australia. It
If
looked
there
like a squirrel.
are, leave them in the comments.
Yeah. What was the question again? Yeah. What's your next big thing for the channel?
All right, so right now we're in a big transition. You know, we've wrapped up the Alaska trip. We're in the process of wrapping up the editing for season 1. We've had a lot of setbacks behind the scenes.
It's complicated.
Yeah, so it's gonna come back. It's gonna come out in season 2. The struggles that we've been through, the lessons that we've learned. But you're gonna see a lot more weekend warrior stuff as opposed to long-term travel in the next few months.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. It's starting to rain, so we may have to wrap this up. But how can we find you, mate?
So you can find us on YouTube, searching Lifestyle Overland. We're on Instagram and Facebook under the same handle. You can go to our website, www.lifestyleoverland.com.
I didn't know you had a website as well. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And 4Runner. 4Runner. How good's that?
All right.
You can subscribe right here to Lifestyle Overland and up here to my channel as well if you haven't already. And there is a video over here with another vehicle we shot in the US. If it's not there yet, there's something else. And actually, it could be a crossover video here. We've got to sort something out.
We do.
And patreon.com/RonnieDale. Thank you. See you later. See y'all later.
See y'all.
Are you supposed to say, yeah, mate?